Hi, I'm Liam. I've got this sweet corner office at Tech Fusion where I've been lead developer for 5 years now. 3 monitors, fancy chair, the works. Not bad for a guy whose dad bailed when he was 10, right? Dude, you coming to happy hour tonight? That new client is buying. Tyler poked his head into my office, loosening his tie. My best friend since college, now the company's legal counsel. Can't tonight. Rachel's parent-teacher conferences got canceled, so we're doing dinner instead. Look at you, all domesticated. Tell her I said hi. Will do. My phone buzzed, probably Rachel confirming our plans, but the notification made my stomach drop. Friend request, Frank Calloway, 20 years of silence, and now a friend request? I clicked his profile. Same eyes as mine staring back from the profile picture. Older, grayer around the temples, but unmistakably the man who walked out on Mom and me. You look like you've seen a ghost. Tyler was still there. My dad just found me on social media. Wait, the same dad who disappeared? The one who missed your graduation and your mom's cancer scare? One and only. What are you gonna do? Nothing. Block him probably. But I didn't. And the next day, there he was, standing awkwardly by the reception desk of my office building. Liam, my God, look at you. What are you doing here, Frank? Can we grab coffee? Please? 5 minutes? The cafe across the street was packed, which was good. Witnesses if I decided to throw my Americano in his face. Your mother doing well? Sandra always was a fighter. She beat cancer twice while you were gone. Got remarried to a decent guy who actually sticks around. She's good. Listen, I know I have no right. You're right about that part. I was messed up back then. Had debts, drinking problem. And now? Clean 3 years. Got married again. Melissa's wonderful. Congratulations. Why are you here? He fidgeted with his napkin. I've been following your career online. Software development, huh? You always were smart. Frank, what do you want? I'm in a tight spot, son. Don't call me that. Right, sorry. Melissa and we're facing eviction. I lost my job and she's working 2 shifts, but it's not enough. And you thought, hey, my abandoned kid might give me money. It's not about money. It's about the kids. Kids? Melissa's children from her previous marriage. Emma's 14, Jake's 12, smart kids, good kids. What about them? He leaned forward, desperation in his eyes. We need someone to take them in, just temporarily, few months at most. You want me to take your stepkids? You've got a good job, stable life. We just need time to get back on our feet. They're good kids, I swear. I stared at him, completely blindsided. Are you serious right now? 20 years of nothing, and this is what brings you back? I know it's a lot to ask. It's insane. I don't even know these kids. Please, just meet them. That's all I'm asking today. Just meet them. I pushed my chair back from the table, nearly knocking over my coffee. You abandoned me without a second thought, and now you want me to take responsibility for your stepkids? That's rich. Frank grabbed my arm as I stood up. Just meet them once, please. I yanked my arm away. Don't touch me. I don't owe you anything. You're right, you don't. But these kids... Frank's voice cracked. They don't deserve what's happening. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet them the next day. I called Rachel the minute I left the cafe. He seriously asked you to take his stepkids after 20 years of radio silence? I know it's crazy. It's more than crazy, Liam. It's suspicious. What does he really want? Tyler was equally skeptical when I told him over lunch. This screams scam. You need to be careful. I'm just meeting the kids, then I'll tell him to get lost. The meeting happened at a park near my apartment. Frank arrived with a woman and 2 teenagers. The woman, Melissa, had dark circles under her eyes and kept glancing around nervously. The kids, Emma and Jake, hung back, clearly uncomfortable. This is my son, Liam, Frank said. Melissa extended a shaky hand. Thank you for meeting us. Frank has told me so much about you. Funny, he never mentioned you until yesterday. Frank shot me a warning look. Why don't you kids go play while the adults talk? Once they were out of earshot, Melissa broke down. We're getting evicted next week. Frank lost his job 3 months ago. What happened? Frank fidgeted. Company downsizing? And you can't find another job? It's complicated. Melissa wiped her eyes. We just need someone to take the kids until we get back on our feet. Maybe 2 months. I watched Emma and Jake sitting on a bench. They weren't playing, just sitting there looking lost. Why can't they stay with their father? Melissa stiffened. He's not in the picture. What about grandparents, other relatives? No one can help right now, Frank said quickly. I walked over to the kids while Frank and Melissa argued in hushed tones. Hey, I'm Liam. Emma looked up. Are you really Frank's son? Unfortunately, Jake snorted. He said you were some hotshot computer genius. Just a regular programmer. Do you guys know what's going on? Emma nodded. They want you to take us in. How do you feel about that? Better than a shelter, Jake muttered. That hit me hard. I gave them my number before leaving, telling them to call if they needed anything. Later that night, Rachel came over with takeout and a determined expression. Tyler and I did some digging. Your dad's been fired from 3 jobs in 2 years, all for undisclosed reasons. What about Melissa? Seems legit, works at a hospital, 2 previous marriages. And the kids? Their dad disappeared 5 years ago, no record of him since. That sounded familiar. The next day, Tyler handed me a folder. You need to see this. Inside were printouts of social media profiles and news clippings. Frank Calloway, Frank Collins, Francis Carter. He's changed his name at least twice, Tyler said. And look at this. A small newspaper article about a man named Francis Carter who disappeared after allegedly scamming an elderly couple in Arizona. There's more, Tyler continued. He's got kids in at least 2 other states that we can find. Kids he walked away from just like he did with you. I stared at a photo of Frank, or whatever his name really was, with his arm around a young woman and a baby. He's not just a deadbeat dad, I said, anger building inside me. He's a professional at it. I couldn't sleep that night. Those kids needed help, but Frank was clearly running some kind of con. The next morning, I called Emma. Can you and Jake meet me after school? Just you two, I asked. Emma sounded hesitant. Without Frank and Mom? Yeah, there's a pizza place on 4th Street, I confirmed. Is everything okay? Emma questioned. Just want to get to know you guys better. They showed up looking nervous. Jake immediately went for the arcade games while Emma studied me suspiciously. What's this really about? Emma demanded. Has Frank moved you guys around a lot? I asked carefully. Emma shrugged. 3 states in 2 years. Why? Does he ever use different names? I pressed. Emma's eyes widened. How did you know about that? Because he did the same thing to me and my mom 20 years ago, I explained. Jake returned. Mom's been acting weird. Found her crying over some papers yesterday. Something about guardianship, he volunteered. After they left, I called Tyler. I need to find someone named Diana. She had a kid with Frank about 10 years ago, I explained. Tyler responded quickly. Found her on Facebook. Lives in Portland now. An hour later, I was on a video call with Diana. He got me to sign over temporary guardianship of Tommy while we were getting back on our feet, Diana explained. Then he tried to get full custody to claim trust fund money Tommy got from my grandparents. I called Rachel immediately after. We need to check if Emma or Jake have any inheritance. I suggested. Rachel had news. Tyler found something. Jake's biological father had a life insurance policy, $500,000, held in trust until he turns 18. Let me guess. Frank can't touch it without legal guardianship, I concluded. The next day, Tyler burst into my office. Frank's employer filed a police report, $60,000 missing from accounts he managed, Tyler reported. We spent the weekend setting up our trap, and I arranged a meeting with Frank and Melissa. You'll take them? Frank asked hopefully when we met. Temporarily, but I'll need legal guardianship papers, I replied. Melissa reached into her bag. Already got them drafted. Just need your signature. And what about Jake's trust fund? That stays untouched, right? I asked innocently. Frank froze. What trust fund? The one from his dad's life insurance. The $500,000, I said firmly. Melissa turned to Frank, shocked. You told me it was only $50,000. I don't know what you're talking about, Frank sputtered. I leaned forward. Drop the act. I know everything. About Diana and Tommy. About the missing money from your job. Frank's mask fell away. You can't prove anything. Actually, I recorded this conversation, and the police are waiting outside, I revealed. Frank lunged for my phone. Tyler appeared, gripping Frank's shoulder. I wouldn't do that. This is family business, Frank shouted. Those kids deserve better than being pawns in your scams, I said coldly. You have no idea what you're talking about, Frank yelled. I know exactly what I'm talking about, Dad. 2 police officers approached as Frank tried to make a break for the door. Going somewhere? One officer asked, blocking his path. Frank turned to me. You don't understand. I was trying to build something for all of us. Save it for your lawyer, I replied. As they escorted Frank away, Melissa collapsed into tears. I didn't know about the embezzlement, but you knew about the guardianship scam, I challenged. The following weekend, I rented a community center room and invited everyone Frank had hurt. Are they all coming? Tyler asked, setting up the projector. Most of them. Diana flew in from Portland. Jake's grandparents drove down from Seattle. When everyone had arrived, I stood at the front. My name is Liam. Like many of you, I was abandoned by a man named Frank Calloway, or Frank Collins, or Francis Carter. I clicked through slides showing Frank's various identities and scams. Diana stood up. He tried to steal my son's inheritance. He emptied our joint account before our wedding, another woman added. Jake's grandfather stepped forward. We've been looking for our grandson for 5 years. Jake looked worried. What about Emma? We have plenty of room for both of you, his grandmother assured them. Melissa finally spoke. They're my children. Who you were willing to sign away to a stranger for money, I reminded her. Tyler pulled me aside. They just found Frank's storage unit. Fake IDs, credit cards, documentation from at least 3 other scams. 3 months later, I visited Frank in county jail. Thanks for coming, Frank said. I know I messed up, with you, with everyone. But I want to apologize. I stared at him. 20 years too late. I know, but I'm not here for your apology. I'm here to tell you Emma and Jake are doing great with their grandparents. Jake's trust fund is secured in a court-protected account, and I visit them every month. You do? Unlike you, I don't abandon family. Liam, please, we're done here. Don't contact me again. 6 months later, Rachel and I drove up to Seattle for Jake's birthday party. Emma ran out to meet us. Liam, did you bring the coding books you promised? Of course. Ready to build that website? As we walked inside, Jake's grandfather clapped me on the shoulder. You're always welcome here, son. You're family now. And for the first time in years, I actually felt like I had one. What would you do if a parent who abandoned you suddenly reappeared asking for help? Would you seek revenge like Liam did? Or would you try to forgive and rebuild the relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling narratives about family, betrayal, and justice. New stories uploaded every week.